Happy Tuesday. How we doing, guys? Hope everyone's having a really good one. How's it going, Crystal? What's good in the hood? Oh, it's fucking cold here as well, man. Tie bets, how you doing, man? What is good in the hood? Yeah, everything's good. Freezing cold. Had a real busy day. Tried to get a little bit of a sleep on before I jumped on here, and very unsuccessful in doing so. But all good. Hope everyone's well. Good to see you, Westy. Good to see you, Tai. And good to see you, Crystal. Just hanging about for a little bit today. Got a few videos to record with. You made $100 today. God damn. That is awesome. How much does a jar of honey go for these days? The pure stuff. Man, honey is so good it's so useful for so many things. Especially as my throat's always fucked as well. It's always nice to have like a good clean jar of honey on hand. And for other kinky purposes as well, but I'm not going to get into that. Yeah, I'm glad to hear you're well as well. It is bloody. The temperature's certainly taken a little bit of a downturn, but it's always like that in England. It's always a bit chilly. How you doing, Hank the Tank? What's good, my man? The little pint jars I've been selling for about $15 a piece. So how much does what? So you've got like 4 hives, right? If I remember rightly, I think it's 4. Like, what kind of yield do you get from that? I'm very intrigued by this. Hope you're doing well, Hank the Tank. My good man. Hope you're well, sir. Just gonna keep it low chill today. What the fuck is good, Mr. Moody? And Joe Hogan's in the building as well. God damn. It's a pleasure to see you, sir. All's good. All's good. I'm just this is a bit of a casual one today. I wasn't sure if I promised people on Sunday that I was gonna try and come and stream a little bit more regularly again. And it got to today, I was a little bit like didn't manage to get my nap in. So I was wondering if I should jump on or not. I've got a few videos to record as well with making the walk and a few other people. So but I'm here. I feel like we're kind of considering this is a mind your beeswax. Considering this is a numbered card, I feel no excitement. Mushroom MMA, my guy. By the way, if you guys I know most of you in here already know about these guys, but subscribe to Tai Bets, subscribe to Mushroom MMA, and Suited Tom is now in the building as well. God damn. How you doing, Sniff? Yeah, I'm live. I don't know what direction we're gonna go in today. I figured we talk about 309 a little bit. I'm quite happy that we've got another London card coming up. But of course we've got that Paul and Tyson bullshit on Friday, which is kind of dragging me down. Do you think they should make a Master of Disguise 2? I wasn't aware of a Master of Disguise 1. Is that something I should be aware of? I'm about to sound very ignorant right now. Oh, yeah, I don't know what that is. Just realized that's a movie. 3.4 out of 10. That means it would be better than most of the stuff that came out this year. I say go for it. And number 2 would be very warranted. Nice one for that, Crystal. Yeah, shout out to Mushroom MMA. I don't know how many videos you've been making lately. I don't really get a lot of your stuff appearing on my Oh, would you this is the question. Because I was thinking about it like, would I sacrifice Charles Oliveira for John Jones? And I definitely would. Or for Stipe, should I say. Would you prefer Tyson chinning Paul or Stipe chinning Jones? I've got to be honest. I would prefer Stipe chinning Jones. Jones needs to get what's coming to him. And as an MMA, the thing is, yeah, if when Jake Paul inevitably chins Tyson, we've always got the well, he's a 60-year-old man narrative to lean back on. Whereas if Jones wins and fucks off into the sunset, we're never gonna hear the end of his bullshit. Whereas if John Jones loses, it really throws the cat amongst the pigeons. Yeah, it was terrible, but it was my favorite movie as a kid. I will give it a shot. I'm all for terrible shit. Like some terrible movies are just beautiful. Sniff was my middle name in the late 80s. Escobar supplied the best coke. Best coke. Fun fact. He supplied pretty much all the coke. I think it was like 80% of the coke you could get in America at some point. Jones is an EPO contained stain on the sport. Well, that's putting it a bit mildly. If only EPO usage was the only bad thing that cunt did. Yeah, Tai, are you doing a live stream next weekend for the card? I assume that you are. I don't usually do watch alongs, but for 309, because there's a very slim chance that John Jones might get fucking slept in there. We might do a live for it. We're kind of talking about it at the moment. You guys know how I feel about watch alongs, though. I really struggle with them. But Tai, if you're doing one, I'm definitely gonna jump on for that. Maybe you'd welcome a few guest appearances. Wink, wink. You could write a whole book on what it's done, and you wouldn't be able to take it into a church. It would just catch on fire. The cunt. Hank, are you doing a live stream this weekend? I'm assuming you're thinking about it as well. Maybe we can get some kind of panel situation going. Yeah, I'm gonna be buying it too, Tai Bets. I'll be buying it. I'll be going live on Thursdays again in January. That would be sweet, bro. We've got to do something together at some point as well. I'm down. Jax is rooting for John. I'm not sure if he is. I don't know. I've only bumped into people on Twitter who are genuinely going for John Jones, and I suspect that they're all bots. Number 1 bestseller on why he's a moral disgrace and a tumor on. He'll probably do that as well. He'll probably sell his book at some point and reveal all kinds of shit. How you doing, Crossover? What's good, my man? What's good? Shout out to obviously Making the Walk MMA. I'm looking forward to doing that video of you tonight, sir. And Crossover, I will be doing on Friday. We'll be doing like a fight breakdown of UFC 309 during the weigh-ins, and that will be on Friday. I'm not fucking sure what time it's on. Maybe somebody can illuminate me. But that's going down. We'll be on for like an hour and a half, something like that. We'll talk through like the weigh-ins. Hopefully it will be drama fueled and not smooth. But we'll do a breakdown of all the fights. There's going to be a couple surprises in there because I've got some opinions about how some of those fights might go that might not go down too well. But Mushroom, yeah, if you're down, sweet, bro. And we're always down for doing some collabs. And same with Tai Bets as well. Yeah, I mean, you know what my my MO is on YouTube. I do a lot of collabs with different YouTube creators. I basically get them to do all the work for me. And then I ride on their coattails. It's a pretty smooth situation I've got going on here. So I want to be doing more of that. Way too scary to put Tyson or Paul. I'm going to be real with you, Tai. I think the bet to make in the Paul and Tyson fight is going to be for it to go the distance. It's 2-minute rounds. It's only 8 rounds, and they're fighting in 14-ounce gloves. I don't think anyone's getting knocked out. I think that's the safest thing we can assume. I predict Jones wins by decision. Interestingly, I, I'm gonna. How you doing, B7? I'm gonna go one further than that. Yeah, I think what's gonna happen. I think it's gonna go to decision, and I think I don't want to spoil too much. I'm gonna go into how this is gonna happen. I reckon Stipe is gonna get Reyes. That's what I reckon's gonna happen. I reckon Stipe is gonna arguably have won the fight and get fucked over. I think people are sleeping on Stipe a little bit. I know he's an old cunt, but I think he might surprise a few people. I don't think he's gonna knock Jones out, although that would be beautiful. I think if he knocked Jones out, I would literally come in my pants. I'm not saying that as like I mean literally. I would jizz myself if that happened. And you're right, Jones is a decision merchant, but also, I don't know, at heavyweight, there's a little bit of the unknown. I feel like with Stipe, I feel like he's getting slept on a little bit. Stipe's a strong guy. He's got decent takedown defense. Yeah, throw up a sub to Rob's neighbor as well. Shout out to that legend. But obviously, the result that I want is exactly what Rob's neighbor's saying. I want Stipe to flatline him, tongue hanging out, shitting himself in the cage. That's what I want from John Jones. That would make my year. I asked for it at the beginning of the year. I begged for it. Scoobs, what the fuck is good, my man? It has been a while. Good to see you, bro. I'm hoping to getting in here more regularly. I'll start. I've been losing the desire to go live. I've got to be honest. I've been like MMA jaded lately. Like I kind of hate the whole sport at the moment. But hopefully you guys can rejuvenate me. Yeah, Michael Chandler's gonna be a weird one. I mean, the thing that makes me nervous about the Michael Chandler fight, and I hate Michael Chandler probably as much as I hate anyone in the sport. Uh, think about have a good think here about how many times you've seen MMA fighters have rematches, and how many times the one who won the first fight wins the second fight. That's the thing. I think Stipe should be done one way or another. Stipe's what 43. If Stipe beat Jones and then retired, I'd be perfectly fine with it. If Jones beats Stipe and retires, I'm gonna be genuinely disgusted. And I think the UFC should force the hand. I think if when Jones wins, they need to push Aspinall into the cage, which I think they're planning on doing, because I know he's going to be in the crowd. But that would be ideal. I think Stipe winning is ideal in any situation because it just throws the. Oh, you mean Mike Tyson? Yeah, Mike Tyson's going to get. I don't think Mike Tyson's going to get knocked out. He might get like standing TK. I don't think he's going to get flatlined. I can see him maybe getting barraged and then the ref stopping it. Something like that. Like a ref's TKO. But Mike Tyson's going to get beaten up. Stipe would fight Tom. I don't think he should, though. The thing about Stipe is, yeah, people talk a lot of shit about him. He's down. He's down. I mean, he fought Ngannou when no one wanted to. And beat him first time. I mean, we're going to talk about this in an upcoming. I've got a video about this coming up. I'm going to talk about it hopefully with crossover and with Making the Walk. We're going to have a little discussion about what we think about the state of John Jones's legacy as it stands now, and also what we think is going to happen for him going forward. I kind of hope Tyson takes. He's too old. Lane, how you doing, Lane? Yeah, Tyson's too old to take anyone to school. He's a granddad now. He's like a nice grandpa. I wouldn't say this to his face, obviously, but he'd obviously whoop my ass, no problem in any circumstance. Jake Paul's actually quite good. Like, he's not like a typical he's dedicated himself to it. He's a bit of a sociopath, and he's young. He's 27 years old. He's got a bit of power. He's been training for this. He's gonna fuck Mike Tyson up. I think even with the big gloves, best case scenario for Tyson is that it goes the distance, and you gotta hope that those 14-ounce pillows that they're gonna be wearing aren't gonna be enough. And the fact that it's 2-minute rounds as well. I quite like that for Tyson as well. If I'm gonna bet anything on this fight, I'm gonna bet for a poor win or for it to go the distance. I'd be interested to know how much you get for it going the distance. First round flatline. Mountain, I'd agree. If they were wearing 10 ounces or even 12 ounces, I would say 100% Tyson's getting buried in the first round. But 14-ounce gloves are basically what they use in training. And I think that's going to bear a massive factor. And I do think that Jake Paul, the reason why I'm not going for the Jake Paul first round knockout is because I think Jake Paul's going to be wary of the fact that, all right, I know it's 58 years old, but it's still Mike Tyson. Jake Paul will still be thinking, whether it's true or not, if he catches me on the chin, he's going night-night. Thoughts on the old gloves? Is that true? That's kind of embarrassing. Yeah, I can understand making a walk. I can understand you picking Tyson. I mean, it hurts to pick that little Disney bitch. It really does. I mean, this is the world that we live in. I cannot tell you, I really, really want Mike Tyson to win. But I mean, Hank the Tank asked a good question. It's like, would I rather that Tyson won, but it means that Jones wins? Or would I prefer that Jake Paul wins and it means that John Jones loses? I'm willing to sacrifice old man Tyson. I'll be real. If that's the way that the timeline has to go, if only one man can win, I'm happy to say I'm happy because at least Tyson's going to walk away with 20 million. And we can just go, oh, well, he's fucking ancient, you know? And we can cope in that way. Whereas if I want John Jones, because it just, like I said, it throws the cat amongst the pigeons. If John Jones loses, he can't retire. And in fact, he's probably going to be begging for the Tom Aspinall fight after that. Tyson by controlled experience. So, Elaine, are you willing to put your money where your mouth is on that one? Because I know you are a degenerate gambler like the rest of us. Are you willing to put your money on that? Because you're quite good at the old gambling. And I've been on a little bit of a hot streak recently. So if you say Tyson's good to go, I might consider sticking it in there. Stipe should fake incapacitation if he gets eye poked and get the DQ. Oh, 100% he should do that. I'm still praying that Stipe does the entire community a solid and just on the day goes, oh, I've hurt my hip. My hip is hurting. And then he just, I don't know why I did it in an accent. And then he just pulls out on the day. Tyson will win by split decision. That's a brave. I mean, I assume that because I mean, Tyson's not going to be fighting again. I assume they don't want to kill the money cow that is Jake Paul. I don't really think Jake Paul's ever drawn a dime, really. I also don't believe that the payouts that these two are getting, it seems odd to me. You think he'll point fight him? I think that's true. I think what he'll do is he'll point fight him for the first couple of rounds, and then he'll realize that Tyson has no threat, and then he'll start wailing on him. Is where I think that's going to go. Batten, how you doing, bro? Making the walk. We know, buddy, you're picking him for the same reason you want Jones to win. Because he loves an underdog. That's what I'm going with. That is what I'm going with. Side bet. It's not a bad. I mean, what's Tyson, like a plus 400, something like that? There's no way Tyson's going to win. I'll be staring at my TV screaming, that's not boxing, bite his ear. We all will be. I'm with Mountain Man on this one. Tyson's oldest, and the thing is that I can't get the image or the replay of Tyson fighting Roy Jones Jr. out of my mind. I mean, he looked fucking ancient in there. And Jake Paul has some FUD to him. Jake Paul is a boxer. The only reason why I'm confident about it going the distance is because of the size of the gloves. And because of the fact it's 2-minute rounds as well. 2-minute rounds in boxing are notoriously bad for the action being pushed, you know? They won't be trying to KO each other, just put on a... Nah, I don't know, man. I'd normally agree with that, yeah, but Jake Paul is legitimately a psychopath. I think he wants to have I knocked Tyson out on his record. I think he doesn't give a fuck about what we all think. The fact that we're all going to hate him for forever. He's hated enough already. Tyson has Mikel Pereira cardio 90 seconds, then gas. This is another issue as well. With all that adrenaline coming, you know, like this is the thing that boxers don't seem to understand, especially boxers that are doing a main event. You know, that whole waiting around, walking out to the ring, the fact that it takes ages, you got to listen to a concert before you get out there. All of this is like draining. And then they eventually get out there and they're fucking tanked. And then when they actually get into fight, it's I'm stealing £200 from Frankie's wallet, converting it into euro. Why convert it into euros? That seems like a weird way of going about. Hey, bro, if you're hard up, bot, you just gotta ask. You know, I'm happy to help your broke ass out, bro. Scumbag. Do you like the shirt? I know you've always got things to say about my garments. How you doing, bot? Hope you're doing well, brother. I think Tyson and Paul are in on this together. They could be, but it would be... The thing is, though, this is the overriding issue with the whole thing. Yeah, it would be very, very embarrassing on Jake Paul if he doesn't obliterate him. I know it's Mike Tyson, but he's literally on the verge of crumbling into a ball of dust at this point. It would be like excruciatingly embarrassing for Jake Paul if he didn't beat the fucking shit out of him. And this is just the reality of the situation. There's no pressure on Tyson. My picks right now are Hardy, McGee, Anders, Silva. The McGee one, I've got an interesting... I think McGee is so good. It's a tough fight. And I bet you got really good odds on them. Of all those, the one... so you don't like the shirt bot is what you're saying. You could have just said that, man. I don't know why you have to come with the cunt talk. You know? Sorry, Tai. The one that worries me about that one is Eric Anders. That guy is dog shit. He's dog shit. I'll be honest, Lane. I've got a parlay going, and I don't know what I was thinking. Literally all the fighters I picked, I've got no faith in. I put Tybura on it. It's a free bet, so I'm like, fuck it. I put Tybura. I've got McGee, and I've got Charles Oliveira, and there's one other person I'm forgetting. Natalia Silva. And I am actually not sure that Natalia Silva's going to win. I'm having second thoughts about that one. So of all the people I bet on, the only person that I'm kind of relatively sure about is Charles Oliveira, and I'm not even sure about him. But you know the British weather doing, though? I'm eating chocolates in Belgium watching this. Bro, that warms my fucking cockles, to be honest. I need to get over to Belgium at some point. Belgian chocolate is the fucking goat. I do love me some Belgian chocolate. I know, but all the children and geriatrics think Tyson has a chance. The people with brains that still function can see the obvious. I obviously want Tyson to win, but he will not. I'm with you, Joe Hogan. He's going to get battered. How you doing, Lane? It's really good to see you, though. I'm good. Hey, Blue Eyes. Oscar, you charming son of a gun. A little bit Jonesy. How you doing, brother? I'm doing fine on this Tuesday. It's nice to be here, catching up with everyone. Like I said, I'm not going to be on terribly long. I'll probably hang around for around an hour. I've got a few videos to record of making the walk for this week. It's a big week. We're going to be doing that. And like I said, on Friday, tune in for the full breakdown of the entire card, because we're going to be doing that during the weigh-ins is the plan. But thank you for that, Oscar. I feel... I've got to admit, you bricked me up a little bit with that comment. I'm not going to lie. Now I predict Paul will look 2 times bigger than Tyson and will destroy him in the first. Again, like I said, if it was regulation gloves and it was 3-minute rounds, I would bet on Jake Paul to flatline him in a round. It's the size of the gloves that's got me really doubting. But there's no way that Tyson wins this fight. There's no fucking way on earth. Jake Paul has cardio. Jake Paul has power. Jake Paul is actually quite a good boxer. I mean, he's going to beat the fuck out of him. I don't understand why Mike Tyson is doing this to us. It's sad. To be honest, I want to see Ngannou versus Wilder. It's a fair fight. They're both equally unskilled at boxing. Is it gay to kiss my homies goodbye? Depends if it's like, I don't know. I'm going to go with my instinct and say a little bit. Are you talking about like DDP style? Need to clarify. Crossover, you just had a video hit. Hit as in go off. Crossover is going to take us all over sooner rather than later. That channel is growing by the second, it feels like, and rightfully so. If John calls out Tom, he will erase all of the hate, even if he pulls a Conor Chandler. I mean, there's a lot of people talking about, like John Jones is basically doing this to bump up the interest, get more money. Bullshit. There's no way John Jones is going to fight Tom Aspinall. There's no way. It's just he's said it enough times. I honestly think what he's going to do. I think it really depends. What John Jones does from here on out really depends on what happens with his fight with Stipe. I reckon if he flatlines Stipe in the first round or second round, he sticks around for one more fight and he goes after Alex Pereira. If he goes to a decision and it's close, he's going to go, I'm aging. I've been doing this for a long time. I've beaten everyone that I need to. He'll give it the whole fucking nonsense. And then he'll retire. Or he'll fucking he doesn't want Tom to be the official champion. So what he'll probably do is he'll go, I've got to go and think about it. And then he'll drag it out for like a year and then not come back. John Jones is a cunt. And he's going to leave us all in the lurch. We're definitely... Any thoughts you have of him fighting Tom Aspinall, get it out of your head now. It ain't happening. My money is all over Mike. I don't think it will go the distance though. If I had to bet on this, and I probably will, I'm betting on Jake Paul. I've bet on Jake Paul for the entirety. The only time I didn't bet on Jake Paul was when he fought Tommy Fury. I didn't bet on either of them. But I've bet on Jake Paul for every other fight in his career. This guy, as much of a little weaselly fuck as he is, he only takes fights that he can win. He's going to beat the shit out of Mike Tyson, and we're all going to hate him all the more for it. I don't know, but John has gaslighted his own fans into saying Tom doesn't deserve it. So if he does, that all of a sudden they'll look pretty dumb. Yeah, I mean, he obviously doesn't believe. John Jones is a very, very sensitive little chap. And he's definitely listening to all that noise. And he knows that everyone thinks he's a fucking joke after all this. Thoughts on UFC cards, like collectible trading cards, they make them. I've heard of them. I'll be real with you. I'm not really a card collecting kind of person, but I understand it. Like, I collect other things. I collect like video games and stuff like that. So I get the appeal. Who is the underdog? The underdog is Chandler. Chandler's a plus 200, from what I understand. He's definitely a significant underdog, and he should be. He's a dumbass. He's a meathead dummy. But the one thing I'll say about Chandler, I hate his personality, and I think the fact that he's ranked and gets as much money as he does is an embarrassing, but all of his fights that we've seen him in the UFC have been fun. They've all been fun. Not they haven't been beneficial for him. He's 2-3, but every time he fights, he brings it. So fair play to the The little Jew said, if Jake wins, fools will think it's a work. The real work would be having Tyson win. It will make Jake seem more legit. You reckon so? If Jake Paul loses to Mike Tyson, he can never box again. It's game over. You can't lose to a 58-year-old man when you're in your prime and ever be taken seriously again. And I'm not aware of the numbers, Westy, but I'm assuming that Jake Paul generates money. I'm assuming that he does. I'm assuming it's obviously casual fans that pay for his fights and whatnot, but the appeals, the money's clearly there. I don't think it's as substantial as he makes it out to be. I don't think that at all. But yeah, they're not gonna wanna kill that cash cow. But I do agree with you that this is going to be a very interesting in terms of how well as an event that it does on Netflix. I think this is going to be very telling because it could open the door. But I mean, this is the problem, Westy. Yeah, we saw Tyson fight Roy Jones Jr. 3 years ago, was it? And he looked awful. He looked old. He looked slow. It looked embarrassing. And now we're 3 years on for that, and we think Mike Tyson's going to be any better. I can't see anything else other than Jake Paul beating the absolute piss out of that old man. Do you think UFC Tops cards are a good investment? From what I understand, they are they have like a rarity to them, some of them, right? And I think there's always potential value in that. And especially in a market that's really growing. I wouldn't say, I mean, I'd say it's a risky one. I'll put it that way. Because it's kind of niche. But people collect all kind of shit, all kinds of shit out there. I would advise in maybe looking at, if you're looking at it from a serious, if it's something that you just enjoy holding and you're willing to take the risk on it, I would say go for it. But if you're doing it purely from an investment standpoint, I would say probably not. Chandler said he lost to Charles the first time because he was too young and inexperienced. Is he fucking smoking? Is he smoking budge again, that little moron? This is what I'm saying. He's a p-head. He's coming out and saying all the wrong things. Charles is a quitter. I only lost to him because of you were 35 years old. You idiot. Yeah, people collect computer games. How you doing, Moon P? What's good, my man? Only idiots fucking collect computer games and expect them to turn a profit in the future. That's stupid. It's a very stupid idea. How do I put the background blur on this thing? How do I do it? You can get idiots to buy anything. 100%. Yeah, I'm going for the buttoned up shirt now. Rufy and Bo are not even bettable. Yeah, Bo Nickel's gonna knock out Paul Craig, I think, in the first round. And with Rufy, fighting nerds don't lose. I think even collectively you'd get like what, minus 190 on both of them together. It's not worth it. Maybe even more than that. Might be minus 250. Not worth it. And Rufy's a bit of a dodgy one, yeah, because it like the fighting nerds are, all of them are amazing. They haven't really fought anyone good yet. Really. The only games I want to collect now are Pokemon games. I regret selling them a long time ago, to be honest, especially with the recent resale prices. Yeah, if you own like an original like it's the same. I had like a full binder of like Pokemon cards when I was a kid, and I just threw them out. They would have been worth hundreds of thousands. I'm a dumbass. And also as well, if you got the old Pokemon games as well, like in really good clean boxes and stuff, you can sell them for thousands. It's crazy. I collect the souls of women. Yeah, I mean that's just worthless. Ah, there you go. You said it for me. Completely worthless endeavor there, sir. Why am I still coughing? Jesus Christ. You kept your binder of Pokemon cards. Why are you not retired then? Is this how I get Frankie's money? We can talk. I'm not into card collecting, but I get why people do it. Does Bo fight a ranked opponent next with a win over Craig? No. No. I think they're gonna slow roll Bo Nickel as much as possible. I reckon they give him another opponent outside the top 50, just outside the top 15. I don't think we see Bo Nickel fight a ranked opponent until the back end of 2025. I think you'll get one more sort of semi layup, and then it'll be somebody like a Jack Hermanson or somebody like that at the arse end of 2025. Bo Nickel's only what, 28? He's only had 5 MMA fights or 6. They're gonna slow roll his ass. I've got a couple $100 collection of Dr. Squatch soaps. That was very hard to say. Yeah, that's where the money is in. The complete sealed item. The loose game is just to have, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what I've got, like loads of like SNES and N64 games. A lot of them are like, I've got a lot of GameCube games that are sealed. I'm going to sit on them for a little while and just see how it goes. But I don't know if I can ever part ways with them. That's the issue that I've got. Like, I collect all these things and then I'm like, I don't even know if I can sell them. I don't even know if I've had the heart to, if I'd have the heart to. Mikel is number 15. He could ragdoll him. Yeah, Mikel's got no cardio. But again, it's a one. I know Mikel looked really horrible against Fluffy. But Fluffy's really, really good. I've been saying this for a long time. Fluffy is a top 5 fighter. He just doesn't speak out. He takes what he's given. If he was a bit of a louder presence, he'd be in the top 5 already. Donkey Kong Country trilogy. Yeah, I've got all. I think I've only got the first 2. Frankie's voice sounds cute, not gonna lie. I'm both flattered and disturbed by that statement, sir. I don't sound cute, man. I sound like a fucking fruitcake. But I appreciate that, sir. John said he'll vacate the. Do you know what I didn't understand, Lane? Why is he talking about fighting Alex for the BMF? What's that about? I don't understand the logic behind that thinking. I thought he was genuinely going to call out Max Holloway. That'd be his next one. Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I'm saying, Westy. Where did that come from? I thought I might have misread that. By the way, guys, if you guys are fresh in here, if you wouldn't mind smashing the like button, I keep forgetting to ask. Just to help get a little bit of a boost up in here. I think I'm like 45 away from 1,000 subscribers as well. I feel like I'm going to be saying this for the rest of my life. I don't know how that would work. I think Jones is on the juice. I think they're letting him juice for this. And I think it's going to be brutal on Saturday. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. Nothing would make me happier than to see old man Stipe fuck him out. Thoughts on Aikido? Useless. Utterly useless. John is the opposite of a BMF. Anytime, anyone, anywhere. Hugging dudes goodbye. It's all love in here, Mushroom. I think it's I'm gonna allow it. I need, bruv. I'm an old cunt now. I need all the compliments I can get. Yeah, that's like 2 people that they liked the button was talking shit about their mamas. I think those 2 people need to turn around and hit that sun. Crystal, I love the creative ways you get people to try and hit the like button in here. And if you guys wouldn't mind doing it, I'd appreciate it. Apparently it helps. I don't know how, but apparently it helps. I hear people saying it all the time in live streams, and I'm like, all right, I guess I should do the same thing or something. You know, we're all old school in here, Mushroom. I don't think there's a single person in here anymore that's under the age of 30. I'd be genuinely surprised, which is cool. But yeah, like I said, guys, I'm just gonna. I know this is Frankie's voice. Are you saying I'm a boring cunt? Don't expose me, yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it kind of short and brief tonight because like I said, I've got a video to record, and I haven't slept. You're 55, you fucking legend. I feel 55. I'll only play one card game and one card game only. What one is that? 960. Yeah, man. At 900, it's really we kind of had we kind of had a really good gallop of pace there between like when I hit 900, we suddenly just like rocketed to 950 and then it's kind of slowed down. But then having said that, yeah, I've been really inactive over the last month. You know, my plan was to go on holiday and do like loads of live streams, and I didn't do anything. I live streamed once and I was completely fucked during that stream. I just wasn't up for it. And I've been kind of jaded, man. I've released one or two videos over the last couple of weeks, but like I need to get back on the grind. Because I'll be genuinely annoyed if I don't get to 1,000 by the end of the year. That was always the target. And we're just about on track. We've got like 2 months left, a month and a half. Von Devin, how you doing, sir? I'm in the 12th grade, eating better than you British people at my school and the biggest bragger. My ego is too big for this stream. Good for you, sir. So if you're in the 12th grade, you're what? 17? Something along those lines? Where are you, Mr. Von Devin? I assume you're in America because you're talking about grades. And you're making fun of British people. I'm going to piece all the puzzle pieces together there. But yeah, we're pretty close. We're pretty close. Don't get back on Grinder. Yeah, that was a poor choice of words. That was a poor choice of words. I've never been on Grinder. Not that there's anything wrong with being a Jones, but yeah. You're in Milwaukee. I've heard Milwaukee's pretty cool. It's one of the more sane places in America. Or maybe it's actually no. I've heard contrasting stories. Like Fug Rose talks about it like it's the proper hood, but it is Fug Rose that said that. So I'm not sure we should believe anything that comes out of her mouth. Trump appointed Elon and Vivek head of the Doge Department of Government Efficiency. I mean, the Elon Musk thing was pretty transparent. It was like, I'm not going to get taxed. It was very self-serving. Why do British people deep fry fish and put beans on toast and call it dinner? Why do Americans put hot sauce on every other cuisine from everywhere else in the world and call it American? And don't get on the deep frying thing. Who's more well-rounded, GSP or Islam? GSP. Islam Makhachev is a weight bully, and as soon as he stops being able to make 155, he's going to miraculously fucking retire. Because that's all those daggies do. I will say this here. Islam is probably one of the more skilled, all-rounded, skilled Dagestani fighters we've had in recent times. I think his cousin, the one who fights in Bellator, is probably the best daggy out there, though. Usman Nurmagomedov. I think he fights 155 in Bellator. That guy's fucking incredible. If you want to see good stand-up from a Nurmagomedov, check that cunt out. Being a Jones is objectively wrong. Well, in more ways than one. You know, Jones kind of covers all the bases. It's like, you know, he's a fucking PED abuser. He's a fucking, you know, bit of a grapey individual. He beats up women. He's covering all the areas of scumbaggery. God bless him. America is full of diabetes and obesity. The food is so greasy and cheesy. I'm going to be real though. Like every time I've gone to America, I enjoy the variation. I really enjoy the variation. Like when I go to America, I usually go there for about a month at a time. and I usually put on about a stone. I do look like a young Sean Strickland. You know, when he was like the original Tarzan, tied the hair up. I do look a little bit like him, I'll be real. But I also look like Raquel Pennington, and I also look like not Ellen Page, the version Elliot Page, the former female who's now a man and was in several TV syndicated programs. Okay, I caught up. You can continue. Glad you're back, bro. That happens to me all the time. American food is the only food that exists, to be honest. I mean, you guys have a lot of variety. I'll give you that. But you're fucking thieves. You are cuisine thieves. We've been through this. There's nothing legitimately American out there. You're just you're food bandits. John Jones is very gay, but somehow had banger fights. I don't know, man. If you look at John Jones's entire career, though, he hasn't had a lot of his fights have been dodgy, and a lot of his wins haven't aged well. And he's always got very, very clear advantages over the people he fights. I have been to China before. I lived there for 7 years, and I didn't see any crazy animals really. Not really. China's not really weird like that. If you cooked with beef tallow instead of oil, you'd be okay. America. Yeah, I mean, it's a fair point. It's a fair point. I do think the oil and the fatty intake is what lets you yanks down a bit. Yeah, John Jones's stand up in general is not great, but I will say this about John Jones. John Jones's IQ inside the cage is fucking incredible. He's a very good fighter. What food have you Brits come up with on your own? Well, you know, we've gone through this. Mate, the battered sausage, the roast dinner, and the English breakfast is better than anything you've ever achieved in your fucking entire history. Food or otherwise. But you just took Indian food and made it slightly more edible. I actually had Indian food yesterday, and it was I do like Indian food, but it's a rarity for me. Mhm. No, it's the oil and fake sugar. Animal fat is good for your brain. Yeah. Do you reckon Trump's gonna do that then, Mushroom? We could get Trump versus Obama in 4 years' time. That'd be good. I save animal fat and cook with it, mainly beef and pork fat. I mean, I'll be honest, that sounds amazing. Gordon Ramsay's restaurant in Vegas is pretty good. I've been to his restaurant in London, and the guy who trained him is a guy named Marco Pierre Van White. And I went to a restaurant of his in central London, and I was bitterly disappointed. I had like a fish and chips. I don't really know if we invented fish and chips though. That might be bullshit. Might be. I like to fry everything and bake everything in bacon grease. I don't waste one drop of my bacon grease. Yeah, to be honest, yeah, as gross as that sounds, it also sounds fucking delicious at the same time. But yeah, fish and chips is kind of like if we did invent that, and I don't know why I'm saying we. I'm not even British. Like we know this about me. I'm a phony. Have you ever had bacon grease biscuits? They do sound good. Also, MSG isn't bad for you. What do you mean by MSG? Part of our history is sending you Brits packing and bailing the Brits out of 2 world wars. Yeah, but Mushroom, I mean, first of all, we've talked about this. The American Civil War was an early stoppage. I think we were going to get that one done. But also, we still run fit. We still run things out there. It's all a fucking, it's all bullshit. You're British. We lost to us. Why am I saying? We lost to ourselves. Didn't even go as far. That's how far as I'm willing to cope on this one. I bet fish and chips fried in beef fat would be legendary. It absolutely would. Gordon Ramsay is a hair guy. Raccoon stew. Yeah, that's a That's a very Milwaukee thing to say. MSG stands for monosodium glutamate, a flavor enhancer that's the sodium salt of amino acid glutamic acid. 1 o'clock in the morning, Crystal. Germans do a very good sausage. USA is basically England's big. It's like we made this younger brother, yeah, who just grew up to be genetically superior to us in every way. That's fine. But you still came from our balls. And don't you forget it. As is Canada's gone. Australia is I've always got love in my heart for Australia because they're basically made up of our chaddiest criminals. Would you survive in the days of hunting and building your own home? Look at me, bro. What do you reckon? Definitely not. Do these look like hands that have done any labor? Look at them. Get your head out of your ass, sir. Long story short, MSG is good for you in moderate amounts. You can actually become deficient. I think it's the same with anything though. I think if you do things in moderation, you're good to go. Nice shirt. How you doing, Mature? I'm glad you like it. I'm kind of trying to dress a little bit more like a grown up these days. I was discussing this with some members of my family, and I'm like, I'm one of those people, yeah, who, because I'm very comfortable in my life and I don't care what people think of me, I go outside and I wear like kind of shitty t-shirts and I wear like tracksuit bottoms everywhere, no matter what the occasion. And I'm like, I've got to get myself fixed up because people are looking at me weird now. I mean, I would be a pretty good brain of the operation, Rob's neighbor, and I'd definitely sort the bitches out. Do you know what I mean? And get the bitches over. I mean, my Riz or whatever they call it is somewhat still respectable, considering I've been out of the game for a little while. I'll provide the females, for sure. Anything else might be a struggle. Nice Oxford shirt. Is that a thing? But Rob's neighbor, you legend, I appreciate that. That might be the nicest thing that anyone's ever said to me on the internet. Would you try a whole alligator? So you mean I'd have to eat the entire alligator? How long would I have to do it? I mean, I'd try it for free. But actually, Mountain Man, there's no hair to really let down. When I was in Thailand, yeah, I got I got this lady to cut my hair. And she cut way too. She was like, I kept explaining to her, little bit, little bit, little bit. She cut like so like about a year of growth, 48 hours. I'd go for it. I don't reckon I could get it. I don't reckon I could finish it in 48 hours, but I'd give it a go. For $1 million, why not? I give it a go. Is that an offer? How you doing, Kloss? What's good, man? And a brown leather belt. I'm not really a belt person. I do have some nice belts, but I don't really. I wear jogging pants, man. I don't need belts. I basically dress like a fucking. I'm actually wearing blue jogging bottoms, and I don't wear shoes inside my house. I'm not American. That's another thing that you Americans do. That's just gross. You walk up in your fucking house with your shoes on that you were wearing outside, and a lot of Americans, they in the clothes you've been wearing outside, you go jumping and rolling around in your bed with your shoes on. This is definitely an American thing. Nah, she wasn't a ladyboy. She was like a. I mean, she could have been. Now that I think about it, the guy who owned the salon was a gay dude, and I was thinking I'll get him to cut my hair because let's face it, gay dudes are fucking epic at cutting hair. But she just started getting fucking too excited, chopping bits off. By the way, cowboy boots. I'm all. It is Mountain Man. I mean, I'm not saying all of you do that, but a lot of you do that. Like when I arrive in my front door, yeah, I take my shoes off. I put them on a shoe rack. You feel me? I don't go walking around my house. What's the most gay martial art? Um, um, it's that. What's that soy one that Steven Seagal does? You know what? Aikido. Aikido is definitely the gayest martial art. It's gayer than sumo. Frankie, I'm not starting shit. You need a fresh pair of J's or New Balances and some spendy cologne. I don't use cologne, you know. I have a natural, like, I just have a natural, beautiful scent. It's one thing that people have always complimented me about. Did you see any Muay Thai fights in Thailand? I did. But I was hoping that there would be a one event on when I was there, and there wasn't. I'm not a Dr. Martens kind of guy. I do have some really sick boots. Like, I wear a lot of designer shit because I'm a fucking, what's the word? I'm up my own arsehole. No one I know wears shoes inside. I have indoor recovery sandals. I think you'd find, yeah, you're the exception, sir. You're the exception. And I'll be real, it was when I got with the mother of my kids that I started, because I used to do the same thing as well. I'd walk into my house with my shoes on. And these times, I mean, I was like 18, 19 at the time. Jordans are the footwear of the NPC. I don't own a pair of Jordans. I don't wear trainers. Matchaway is very based. I don't think I've ever owned a pair of Dr. Martens. I do own like boots that are similar to Dr. Martens, but they're way more like awesome. Dr. Martens are a bit too generic for me. You know? Ghost faded. What's good, sir? What's the biggest red flag in a woman when they talk? When words come out of their face. That's the red flag for me, Ghost faded. As soon as they start yapping, that's when things go fucking downhill. Designer clothes are for NPC midwits. Uh-oh. I might be in trouble then. I might be in trouble. Again, yeah. I used to be the kind of person who would just wear like anything. Again, it was when I got with my the mother of my kids. She's like, I can't be walking on the street if you're looking like that. It was a whole thing. My husband makes me keep a pair inside cowboy boots and a pair of outside. It's kind of funny. I mean, he sounds like an absolute fucking G out here. I love that Bass Scotty turns up right when I start with the I feel like I just got fucking tricked right there. I'm joking, Bass Scotty. I'm joking. I'm sure there are some interesting, insightful women out there that don't talk complete utter bullshit 24/7. I thought it was pronounced Doc Martens. Yeah, I thought I nailed it. Gotti, the thing is with you, yeah, I'm you know, it's very. I swear to base Gotti, yeah, if you go through the entire stream, we've been here for like an hour. I didn't say anything about women whatsoever. I said nothing. I only answer the questions that are put before me. I'm not one, but they probably exist. Yeah. Designer is dumb. You grab a shirt, you print Gucci on it, and then sell it for $5,000. That would work in a lot of instances, you know, I'm going to be honest. I'm surprised the Bass Scotty's husband allows her to get on the internet. No, the internet, I mean, generally the space is pretty good. We do get some simps around town. You know, they are out there. We know who they are. But no, generally it's a pretty good community. Generally. But yeah, subscribe to Bass Scotty as well. Bass Scotty's channel is pretty great. And subscribe to Crystal. And subscribe to Rob's neighbor. I don't know where my boys have gone, you know. Like I don't see Paradox the chat in here that much anymore. I am featured on a no show video that's coming out at some point this week, which I reckon is gonna be sweet as well. Speaking of which, I think he's yelling haram in the background. Uh-oh, my time's up. No, yeah, so basically because it's Tuesday, I wanted to keep this one a little bit short. I've also got to record a video with making the walk imminently, and I want to make sure I get some sleep tonight. I've been fucked. We do need to get Frankie to 1K. We do. I fucking deserve it. I've been on the slog, man. I've been on the slog, the grind, the slow grind. I've been on YouTube now for how long has it been, Westy? I don't know if Westy's still here. I think it's about a year and a half. It's been a slow slog, man. It's been a grind, but we're nearly there. So before I piss off, where has Paradox been? I talked to him on DMs quite a bit, but he's not really on. Oh, do you know who's on? Musical MMA is on. Let's dive over to musical MMA. Unless there's somebody else that you guys can, because musical MMA does. He's always been really good for giving us raids, and I think I at least owe him one. So if you guys could dive over to musical MMA and just give him a sub and show him some love. I've been here since your first stream last winter. Westy has an uncanny ability for finding talent on YouTube and cunts on YouTube like myself. So yeah, I'm gonna call the stream. I'll be back again on Thursday and on Friday. We're doubling up this week. But yeah, I didn't really plan on staying here this long. It's just a kind of a quick Tuesday. How we doing? Gossip Queen MMA. Is that me? I deserve that. Before you go, Crystal, can you put that up? Because I still haven't seen it. Can you throw it up in the chat? Thanks, Tai Tai. Yeah, it's been a pretty it hasn't been the most eventful stream, but they sometimes go this way. Shout out to Tai Tai Bet. Shout out to Rob's neighbor. If you guys could subscribe over there. And yeah, peace out to everyone. If you guys could jump over to musical and just show him some love as well, I'd really appreciate it. I'm gonna duck off for now. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on Thursday, and then on Friday we'll do another thing. And look out for some of the videos and stuff as well. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on this Tuesday. And much love to all of you. Much love to you, Mountain Man. Always a pleasure having you around here, sir. Yeah, much love to all of you. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. I'll see you on Thursday, and have a look out for, like I said, some of the videos we've got coming up later on in the week. Much love, guys. Take it easy. Thanks for stopping by.